Welcome artists into the studio. Today I'm sharing with you colors that work and my secrets for choosing exciting color palettes. I have fortunately been invited to curate my very own set of earthberry pastels, and I thought it would be fun to bring you behind the scenes as I choose the colors. You'll get a sneak peek into my thought process for selecting shades that sing together. Plus, stick around to the end. I'll also be doing a pastel painting demo using this Happy Sunny palette. Come on into the studio, artists, and here we go. So it was very exciting for me to be invited by Earthberry Pastels to curate my very own set of pastels. These are some studies that I've done while I've been choosing my color palette of 30 colors that will be in my set. And you guys know I will be announcing when this set is available. I get a question all the time about how do you choose your color palettes, so I thought this would be a great opportunity to talk about that as I choose a color palette for this set. I have multiple reasons I'm excited about this opportunity, but one is the fact that I love Earthberry Pastels. They are fabulous. Their color is outstanding. Their application is just so soft and buttery, and I love the shape of them as well. I also love that in their sets they have these nice little beautiful organic graphic cards for you to fill in the colors. You see, I have not done that on the back, but it's a really great addition to their set, and they're all non-toxic and earth-friendly. I love that. Their packaging is even earth friendly. So I already had about 4 sets to look at some of the colors, but I also had to print out their color swatches. Now, if you've ever tried to match colors on a computer or printouts, it's often hard to do. So I'm going to have Earthberry Pastels help me with matching some of my color selections. I'll go ahead and give you a little sneak peek and behind the scenes idea of what the set will be like. I love painting scenes that are bright and happy and cheerful. So I decided to make my set have something to do with beautiful, happy, sunny days. And I'm using this photo as a reference image where I will walk you through my color selections as you watch me create this study. For all of my studies, I used small sheets of Canson Velvet. It's a new favorite surface of mine. It's water-friendly. It just receives pastels beautifully. I'll have all product links in the description of this video. And in choosing a set, I'm going to talk to you some about the colors, but also about my goals. This is real time, but I am speeding up this video in just a little while here on the Monet Cafe channel. But if you want the full content, it's over on my Patreon page, and I'll tell you more about that in a minute. But I wanted in my set to have 30 colors where you could finish and complete a painting without having to resort to any other pastels. For I know I'm going to need a good range of values. That means from dark to middle to light values. And I'm also going to need a good arrangement of color temperature from cool to warm colors. And of course, I've already mentioned I have a theme in mind. So my palette needs to include colors that will represent bright, sunny landscapes. Now you can see I've already put down 2 darks that you saw me lay down earlier. One was kind of a dark magenta, one was more of a dark purple. I know I'm going to need a combination of greens that are from the color temperature of cool to warm. What I'm doing here is just blending my underpainting. You can see these beautiful colors combining together. This is a piece of pipe foam insulation, literally what you insulate your pipes with, and it works like a great blending tool. All you need is a little piece. Now here you can see I've gone lighter in value with my green. It wasn't as dark as that other cool green I put down. And these lighter values, like this one here, are going to represent the grasses that are catching the sunlight. I also need to choose colors that are going to vary with the degree of saturation. That last green I put down was highly saturated, and those get more focal point attention. So with my blues, I'm choosing a variety of values, just like I did with the greens, and a variety of color temperatures. This gorgeous blue leans a little cool. It's almost a turquoise color, and it works great for darker values in the upper sky or as distant trees or even mountains, distant mountain ranges. Now, I love turquoise colors, so that lighter turquoise is a beautiful color for the sky. And I love this neutral gray. It's kind of like a gray that leans a little lavender. Perfect neutral for some of the shadows in clouds. And I also know I need some lighter values, not only for flowers, but also for the highlights that are often on clouds. Now, this is a blue that is a bit cooler. Warm blues lean turquoise, cooler blues lean a little more towards purple, but I'm adding some of that turquoise up into the sky. And this is a perfect example of how pastels blend together. Often I'll just do a little bit of blending at the beginning of a painting, but I gradually let the pastels start blending themselves, and your finished piece will end up looking much more fresh and less muddied than if you just blend your painting to death. And these earthberry pastels, oh my goodness, they blend together so beautifully. So I'm getting in, this is my theme again, bright, happy, sunny days that make you feel happy. And another goal I had in creating this set was to have a collection of colors that Earthberry Pastels doesn't already have. They have quite a few sets, but I think this one is different in its color palette. Now I am doing a little blending with my finger. I want to make sure my finger is clean when I do this, and I'm just gently doing it just to soften some of the edges of the clouds, and you can see how that softened them right up. And please bear with me for a quick little station break where I ask you if you would please click that like button. You can't believe how much it helps YouTube to share this video. Of course, subscribe if you haven't, comment. I love to hear from you. And I'd also love it if you'd become part of my Patreon family. Not only does it support this channel, but you get all the goodies I'm always talking about, more content, more commentary, and we have contests, and I get to see your work, and it's only $5 a month. I'll have a link in the description of this video. All right, let's get back to the lesson. Now, I don't have a color. I have only like 4 earthberry sets that I really wanted. See these orange flowers? I love this gorgeous bright orange ochre color, and I'm trying to match it on the sheet. Now, the color that I'm using is, I think, a Sennelier pastel. Sennelier pastels, I love. They're so soft. If you're a pretty serious beginner artist, I would like to suggest the Sennelier 120 half stick set. I'll try to put that in the description as well. It's a set of 120 half sticks that is just gorgeous colors and values, and it's pretty affordable for a pastel set of this quality. So I am going to find a color like that from Earthberry Pastels. Now, I'm going back to some of my original darks that I used for the underpainting, those deep grasses in the foreground. And now I'm using this pretty rusty color, and I'm just dabbing or dotting in a little bit of that rusty color. I believe these flowers are black-eyed Susans, which I take offense to that being named Susan. And actually, many of you don't know, my background, I owned a karate school. I was a black belt instructor. My goal was not to get too many black eyes. And I will say being an artist is a much more peaceful career. Now, I've gone to a lighter yellow you saw on some of the edges of those flowers that were catching the light. And this is a dark, dark green. That's not an Earthberry Pastels. It's one that I will most likely match. But notice how this green carving down into the roots of the grasses really is giving this some dimension. And this is also a Sennelier pastel that I believe is in their 120 half stick set, also called the Paris collection. And now I'm getting in a nice pretty green. It's a middle value. It's not quite as punchy in color. It's a little neutral, and it was great for getting in more neutral, cooler temperatures in the grasses and some of those little seed pod heads that gave some great contrast in that sky. And here's a pretty punchy, vibrant green. I think it's the green I put down earlier, maybe even a little lighter. Again, another one I'm going to be color matching with the Earthberry set. And this pink is a gorgeous pink that I often love to add a punchy color at the end of a painting. And in my next tutorial, I'm going to share more with you about some of the ways you can add exaggerated color to bring your painting to life, and how I'm going to work that with my set. I used a Prismacolor New Pastel just a second ago to get some of those flower stems in. So you can see this painting coming to life with many different values, degrees of value, many different degrees of color temperature, but all in all, it's a color palette that has a nice combo of warm and cool, and yellowy oranges and blues, great complementary colors. So that's one of the goals of my color palette, but not just in creating a set. It should be something that you guys can do just when you're creating a painting. It's often a good idea to use complementary colors in your palette. And this pastel here is an earthberry pastel. It's a gorgeous, vibrant, almost lemony yellow, and it was perfect for capturing those glints of sunshine on the flower petals. And now I'm adding a very pale green, just carving it in kind of negatively to the very far horizon right beneath the little mountain range or trees in the distance. It doesn't really matter what it is, but notice how these blues work great for capturing that. And again, I just wanted to bring you guys along with me for my curating of this set, my initial stages. I've already honed it in even more, and I'm excited to bring you the next tutorial of a painting that I'll share a little snippet at the end. But here is where I have zoomed into this painting so you can see more of the bright, cheerful, happy colors. I loved creating these studies. And by the way, if you're a patron of mine on my Patreon page, your version of this tutorial will have slower speeds, more commentary, and you're going to get this second study. In that lesson, I share my little trick of adding more color to your painting even when you don't have those pastel colors. And if you followed me very long, you know it's my strategy or technique of creating vibrant underpaintings. In this case, I did a vibrant underpainting of beautiful purple. It's an acrylic ink by De La Rowney called Purple Lake, and it's a great, gorgeous purple, and you can dilute it with water to get various values as you see me doing here. Again, if you're a patron of mine, you got this whole tutorial already. You guys already got this tutorial early. So it's a wonderful way to add vibrancy underneath your painting and really give colors that you may not necessarily even have with your soft pastels. And yes, you can do this with watercolor, various other mediums, as long as you're using a water-friendly surface. And by the way, I will have some purples in my earthberry set. None of them are quite this deep though. So again, this is a great way to add extra color to your paintings, even though you may not have those pastel colors. So if you would like this full version, consider becoming a patron of mine on my Patreon page. Like I mentioned, it's very affordable. You can cancel at any time, but I love the fact that I can see your work, and it's just a beautiful, happy place to be. I'll have a link to that in the description of this video. Here's a close-up of this painting. You can see the combination of colors and values and color temperatures. And I tell you guys, I am so thrilled to be offering this set, and I've got more to come very soon. Let me give you a little sneak peek at another painting I've already finished where I have honed in even more on the color selections for this set. I think you guys are gonna love this upcoming tutorial. I hope you've learned a lot in coming along with me on my journey in choosing some of my colors for my upcoming pastel set. Would you please go ahead and like this video? It really helps YouTube to share the video more. Become a patron, subscribe, leave me a comment, and as always, God bless and happy painting.